Hello students, welcome back to our online classes. In previous class, we have learned something about economics, some of its basic concepts. I hope you all have understood the chapter well. Now, to continue with the same chapter, today we shall discuss something more about economics. In the previous class, as I told you, that Adam Smith is considered the father of modern economics. He has given certain principles on the basis of certain observations. And according to Smith, there are two principles of economics. Number one is laissez-faire. I am repeating, laissez-faire. Laissez-faire is a French phrase, is a French word, which means to leave something to function freely. Smith applied this term to the extent of government involvement in the functioning of an economy. According to Smith, active government interference in economic activities disrupts the smooth functioning of the economy. That means, if anyone has been assigned to do any work, and suppose there is another person who wants to influence his process of doing the work. Okay? So what happens? That person gets hampered in performing his work. So what Adam Smith wanted to say, that a person should just be given a task to create wealth, and there should not be much or more interruption towards the government. Okay? And the second one is the principle of self-interest. According to Smith, he believed that every individual is guided by his own selfness in executing any task. However, this did not lead to the chaos, as the principle of competition ensures that economy achieves the desired price and quantity. So, in a simple term, if I say, the principle of self-interest is a person should be given that type of task or that work which he is interested to do. Otherwise, if he gets any work without his interest, so what happens? He will not be able to perform as per his ability. So there are two principles. Principle of laissez-faire, that means to leave something to function freely, and number two, the principle of self-interest. Now, we should understand what is economy. An economy, you can write down this definition, that is why I am speaking very slowly, so that you can understand, you can write whatever you want. Okay? So, economy. An economy is a framework. An economy is a framework within which the economic activities of production, consumption, and distribution takes place using its resources of land, labor, capital, and enterprise. Okay, so this is the definition of economy. You don't really need to mug up this definition, because if you understand the concept, if you understand the basic idea, you would easily be able to understand. But for the time being, you can write this definition. Okay. Time to time, this definition of Adam Smith of economics has been criticized. And as the development goes and some other need, some requirements and some other principles needed to be adopted in economics, the definition of economics changes accordingly. That kept on changing. According to Adam Smith, the economic is purely materialistic. That means he gave the emphasis on creation of wealth only. That means according to Adam Smith, the economic is creation of wealth. But there was no concern for human life in his definition. So this definition was criticized. And years after his theory, another economist came, that is Alfred Marshall, in the year 1890. He wrote a big book, Principle of Economics, in which he gave a new dimension of economics, that is welfare. Okay. So what he wanted to say that economics is the study of mankind in the ordinary business. He gives two dimensions, one is wealth and other is welfare. But again, this definition was criticized, and according to Robbins, in the year 1931, he wrote a book, an essay on the nature and significance of economic science. His book, that is, an essay on the nature and significance of economic science in the year 1931, in which he mentioned that human beings have unlimited wants. Number one, human beings have unlimited wants. Number two, the resources to satisfy these wants are limited. Number three, hence, a choice needs to be made in order to satisfy some of the wants of human beings. And number four, the resources that are used to satisfy human wants can be used in different situations. If you remember my first class, in our first class, I have told that economics means establishing a system, establishing a bridge by which human beings can satisfy their unlimited wants, unlimited desire with limited resources. And this is what Robbins' definition says. As he says that human beings have unlimited wants. Number two, the resources to satisfy these wants are limited. And number three, hence, a choice needs to be made in order to satisfy some of the wants of human beings. Getting my point? We shall explain these terms in more concrete way in upcoming classes. For the time being, this is up to now. You just listen this lecture carefully and try to understand. Any point, any problem, if comes in your mind, you can ask me. Bye until then. Thank you.